Hey, good morning. Happy New Year's Eve, Wojak ETH community. Today is, of course, December 31st, 2025. Uh, Hope everyone is having a great night planned for New Year's Eve. Shout out to the community, to Francois, to Chris Luth, to monk.algo, VR, uh, everyone in the community, to Carl, to Ash, um, to Angelina. So shout out to all the community members who are active. I haven't really been checking Bitcoin or crypto prices over the past few days as I was on vacation. Seems like Bitcoin is still range bound at 87,000. A very tight range right now. So it's gonna break, soon, whether it's upward or downward. Hopefully, it's gonna be upward. But it seems like unless Bitcoin moves up $20,000 in one day, looks like 2025 is going to be a down year for Bitcoin. And the good news is that Bitcoin never had two down years in a row. So, everyone is expecting 2026 is going to be a wonderful year for Bitcoin and crypto in general. I, of course, I always maintain the position that nobody can predict the price of Bitcoin. Um, it doesn't matter how smart you think you are, how much pattern you see in Bitcoin's price history. The price of Bitcoin is always going to surprise every one of us. Um, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll see 2 consecutive years of down price for Bitcoin. Maybe we'll have a lower price by end of 2026. Who knows? But all I know is that over the long run, Bitcoin is going to go up, and strong crypto projects like Wojak is going to go up. And because of this belief, I picked up some more Wojak tokens, even you know yesterday, and even before my vacation, just stacking at these ridiculously low prices. Because I believe when Bitcoin crosses that 120k, 130k level, altcoins will fly. Like we said many times before, Bitcoin can preserve and increase your wealth, but Wojak is going to set you financially free. Hence, you can double or triple your money with Bitcoin, but Wojak can change your life. Um, right now, the activity in crypto is extremely low. Volume is really, really low. Uh, and the price action of Wojak is just gives me more confidence. Even though we're at 0.00012 level, multi-year lows, really. Just a few clicks away from all-time low. But we've been, if you just look at the daily chart, we've been making higher lows and higher highs over the past 3-4 weeks. So it's a very encouraging sign. It just shows that people are just holding. There are relatively few buyers and sellers, and most of the froth, the weak hands, they've all sold their positions, and all the strong hands, the whales, they're holding. They are not selling. They're hodling, and all we need is just a catalyst for the price to move up. Of course, the catalyst for Wojak and all the other altcoins is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin needs a catalyst too. And we thought the catalyst was going to be. Some people thought the catalyst was going to be the expiration of $23 billion of option contracts that expired on December 26th. That turned out to be a dud. In hindsight, of course, people who have these options expiring, they can just roll them over to the next expiration period, which is a month from now. So it doesn't really have a dramatic effect on the overall supply and demand. But nobody knows what the catalyst is going to come from for Bitcoin. It could be the new announcement of a Fed chair. It could be a new announcement from U.S. government intending to buy 5% of Bitcoin supply. It could be a big whale. Could be like, let's say, Elon Musk, just putting like 10% of his $700 billion net worth into Bitcoin. It could be, I don't know, another sovereign nation like China opening a store, easing its policy on crypto. It could be silver investors, gold investors selling their stack and rotating into crypto. Nobody knows. These are just some of my conjectures. But what I'm sure of is that such catalyst will eventually happen. And when it does, Bitcoin is going to make its all-time high, and we're going to finally enter into the alt season. And not every meme coin and altcoin will perform. It's the real projects, such as SPX, it's such as PayPay and Wojak and Punky. These real projects with real communities. These are the ones that will outperform the general altcoin market. And at least that's what I'm betting on with all my assets. It's painful to see silver constantly making all-time highs after I sold. But again, you can never time the market perfectly. I just know that if I have any silver right now, I would sell it and rotate into Wojak. Because you buy high, you buy low, and you sell high. That's just as simple as any investment strategy is. The only problem is that you never know when is the truly high and when is the truly low, and nobody can ever, pinpoint the high point and the low point of a particular asset in a cycle. If they do, they just get lucky. It's like winning the lottery, because at those extreme highs and extreme lows, liquidity goes to zero. At extreme highs, everybody's selling, nobody's buying. At extreme lows, everybody's buying and nobody's selling. So there's no counterparty, and you just see this needle either going all the way down or all the way up. But in terms of trading volume, it actually goes down to almost zero, because the liquidity just dries up at those extreme highs and lows. But we don't expect to catch the extreme top and the bottom. As long as we catch maybe 50-60% of the cycle, we'll be okay. Then that's what I'm preparing myself. All the positions, but right now it's not near the point of selling. My idea of selling Wojaks will not happen until the price crosses at least a cent, which is around 100x from now. And in the beginning is just to recuperate the investment, so very small amounts, and also to provide liquidity, because big investors, when they see liquidity is low, they tend not to want to invest in it. You want to give them the incentive to buy Wojak at a relatively low price, even though it's at 100x for us right now. It's still extremely low at 1 cent. Because I totally believe that $1 for Wojak is in the cards. So that's this is like a long way of answering Algo Monk's question. When Wojak is going to hit $1. The thing is, nobody knows. I can only say that when Bitcoin hits about $1 million, Wojak should hit $1. That's my best guess. But when, nobody knows. We need the catalyst, the macro catalyst, and also, the altcoin market overall to move. And so far, we're not seeing. We're just seeing the buy and hold mode. Another news is that, from Wojak official account, it seems today is the last day for Warren Buffett. At Berkshire Hathaway, he's retiring finally. The guy seems to be like 98 or something. Um, I was never a big fan of Warren Buffett. I feel like he's one of those establishment investors. And if you listen to people who knew him throughout the years, he's been just having these like a vulture almost kind of investment philosophy. Really take advantage of any firm, any company that's extremely down, almost bankrupt. Then he comes in and buying these stressed assets at extreme discount. Um, and that's how he makes his money. He's not really the philanthropist that the media is portraying him to be. And actually, none of his big timers, these if you see someone who is really being touted on CNBC, on these mainstream media, mostly there's a darker side of the story behind the scenes. And we know we beginning to see that with these Epstein files being released, right? All these elites, they all knew these underage girls being sexually abused by these monsters for decades. Yet, these rich and powerful people, not only they turn a blind eye to this evil deeds, they actually, some of them actually join in to these heinous, horrendous acts. So just because someone is extremely famous and rich and powerful doesn't mean that they're good. Many times, um, you know, their ruthlessness and also um, willing to do evil things were the reason that made them their fortune. And that's why they say that behind every fortune there's a crime. So, don't. Uh, I mean, at least speaking from my personal perspective, I never really, you know, um, respect many of these mainstream financial figures. To me, the most famous, the most admirable ones are the ones being trashed by mainstream media, like Michael Saylor, like Max Kaiser, like Andrea Antonopoulos. These are the ones, these Bitcoin OGs and influencers are the ones I truly respect. They don't really care about what mainstream media, the mainstream culture, think of them. All they care about is the truth, and they're willing to sacrifice their time, effort, reputation to defend it, to propagate it, and to me that's honor. That's something that deserves to be admired. So I'm just ranting on today. I know it's New Year's Eve, and just thinking about back on 2025. I again want to thank the community of Wojak. That before I found the community, I was really depressed. I was really struggling with my life, spiritual wise, mental wise, even physically. I was struggling. And since this summer, when I really began to dig into Wojak and start investing in it and doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down, I realized that my mind, uh, my physical health have been improving. And a lot of it has to do with just being part of the community, being part of a project, something that you truly believe in, that you work hard at, even though right now the results are not being produced. But it works on your patience and on your faith, because I totally believe that we are severely undervalued, and eventually the market will adjust towards the intrinsic value of Wojak, which is much higher than where we are now. It should be a multi-billion dollar project. Of course, along the way there are many of these vamp attacks. Certainly, they hurt us, but just like Bitcoin survived all these vamp attacks, we will also. And each of these attacks is like a training ground. Once you survive, like the old saying, the cliche, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The more of these vamp attacks we survive, the stronger we're going to emerge from it. And that's why I'm so hopeful that even though our price is ridiculously low, but everybody, all the true believers were hodling, were holding on and not selling. As compared to other projects, for example, like the other project I was on, it was one of the tokens on the Hedera system. They were just keep making lower lows. I was so glad that in the summer I sold all of that and moved into Wojak. Had I not do that, oh man, my mentality, my depression, I think right now would be really, really severe. You just keep seeing this thing just not doing anything, just price going down, volume is at a trickle, and it just becomes hopeless and despair. So, selecting the right project certainly matters. And I believe we do have the fastest horse of the entire crypto ecosystem. We just need all these catalysts to happen for our prices to move. I apologize for rambling on, and thank you guys for listening. Anyone who actually listened to the end, um, have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve, and may year 2026 bring everyone in our community prosperity, peace, and joy. Have a good one, guys. I will see you tomorrow.